down here from all the pain that we going through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. So you waiting and to play with. I raised my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayer. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just want to fall on you. To show the devils you ain't and to play with. I raised my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the team. U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck and my youngin' sweet. The whole never wait, boy. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas gon' retreat. Go ahead. This shit is too easy. I'm on go, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming, Vinny, beach. And them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to cover the curve. On my grind, bitch, and work. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. The niggas weak, they be church. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. They cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. Over niggas we eat. Men this bitch with the itis. Say all y'all do the sweet. Tell y'all it's do the sweet. The nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us hit a preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All the niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it low to the T. U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You saw this cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my targets on the move, but I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Color Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we take. We form up in rank. We body bad this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit. I keep it on to the T. U.P.K play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go
That shit hard, bro. I don't care what anybody's talking about, bro.
I should chop and screw that track next, right?
No,
it might be too slow, you think?
That shit right there hard.
Only one way to find out, though.
Right. Clap it up. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatham to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathan by Hashem, Yahweh Shah to all the sisters with I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. Right, and we've been teaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites that the Bible speak of since 1969. Right, and today is Tuesday, Brotherhood Brotherhood class, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be going through through the Maccabees, and we're going to show how unity, right, how unity is brotherhood and warfare.
Damn right.
Right, because when you go through the Maccabees, right, first off, you got the apocrypha over there, or you got the apocrypha in here, all right? Show the apocrypha in the 1611.
Show it in
Explain the 1611 apocrypha.
This right here is the Holy Bible right here. It has the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the apocrypha, as you can see right here. It says contains the Old Testament, apocrypha, and the New Testament. Right. If you look at the 1611 King James Bible, the apocrypha is a part of the scriptures,
right,
to help give you some clarification of the history in between the Old and New Testament.
Right.
It's very vital to what was going on at the time in that area, especially when you're dealing with the Greco-Roman Empire and its ascension, and how Israel dealt with them back in their, what you could say, their phase or whatever, right?
No, with the Greeks. Okay, so how many captivities has Israel been in? Anybody know that answer? All right, you know the answer.
Oh, because I got it written right here.
It's been about 7, and America would make the eighth, right? So first we was in Egypt, then we were in Syria, then we were in Babylon, then we were in Persia, the Persian and the Medes, right? And then that's the end of the Old Testament, right? Yeah. And then as soon as the New Testament comes, who's ruling?
Greece.
No, Greece is not ruling in the New Testament.
Rome.
Rome is ruling in the New Testament, right? And then America is now, but it's not it's future prophecy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in history there's a piece missing out of the Bible without the apocrypha in it. What captivity is that? What part of history is missing?
The
Greek history is missing. There we go. Alexander the Greek and what's his name?
Antiochus.
Antiochus. There we go. And the Seleucian Empire. There we go. They're missing, right? And we're gonna give a little bit of history in there. Give me the Zondervan Bible Dictionary.
Sir, what we looking up?
Give me Hellenist, and then after give me Maccabees. Let's get to come outside. Night and day.
This is the Zondervan Bible Dictionary definition of the word Hellenist. Hellenist means Jews who made Greek their tongue.
They did what?
Jews who made Greek their tongue. And with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices.
So these are Jews that were following Greek customs and speaking Greek. That's what these Hellenists was. And that's in the time of the Greek captivity, right? That's in the time of the Greek captivity and the time of the Roman captivity. These were Greeks that was speaking Jews that was speaking Greek and living like Greeks. Like in the New Testament, we brought out a couple last week about the Gentiles in the New Testament being Greek. Being Jews that was speaking Greek and living by Greek customs. Right?
And right.
That's who the Gentiles that was keeping, the Jews that was keeping Israelite customs were calling the Jews that were keeping Greek customs. They were calling them Gentiles because they were living like Gentiles. Right? Now give me Maccabees.
This is the Zondervan Dictionary definition of Maccabees. Maccabees. Hasmonean Jewish family of Modin that led revolt against Antiochus Epiphanes, king of Syria, and won freedom for the Jews.
Won freedom for who?
For the Jews.
All right, so these were a group of Israelite brothers, right? That went to war against Antiochus, right? And he was the ruler of Greece at that time, of Greece and Syria. He was the ruler in that area at that time, right? He got his start from his daddy, from his pops, that his great grandfather, right? Because his great grandfather warred with Alexander. And we're gonna show you who Alexander is soon. He was warring with Alexander, and then Alexander died, and they broke up Alexander's kingdom, right? Which stretched all the way from Greece to all the way to northwestern India,
right.
So then they broke up his kingdom, and it was like 4 different parts. And then Ptolemy and Cleopatra was in Egypt and the African area, right? And then in Syria, and in present day Syria now, but in Syria and all the way up to Greece, Antiochus was ruling, and then his son ruled after that, and then Antiochus III came apart. Keep going, or Epiphany, right?
Right.
Keep going.
The family consisted of the father, Mattathias.
Right. The family consisted of who?
The father, Mattathias.
So Mattathias, we're gonna get into that out the Bible too. Go ahead.
An aged priest.
He was an aged priest, so that means he was an older gentleman, but he was a priest. He was still a priest. Go ahead.
And his 5 sons.
And he had 5 sons, right? So he was what would you call it? He was man, what would you call it when you have a lot of sons?
Blessed.
Yeah, basically he was blessed with a lot of sons. Go ahead.
Johanan, Simon, Judas, Eleazar, and Jonathan.
Right, and then they started having sons too, and they started ruling after their fathers, or after their grandfather Mattathias. Go ahead, keep going.
It says the name Maccabee was first given to Judas, perhaps because he inflicted sledgehammer blows against the Syrian armies.
Right, and Judas was like the middle brother. If you know anything about the middle brother, the middle brother is always good at warfare, because they have to fight with their older brothers, and then they have to show their younger brothers how to fight.
Yeah.
So they're always good with warfare. The older brothers and the middle brothers are always good with warfare. They always good with fighting, and they always like to fight. And that was Judas Maccabees right there. Judas Maccabees was not a punk.
Right.
Go ahead.
It says, and later was also used for his brothers.
Talking
about Maccabees, the name.
Yeah, the name Maccabees. Go ahead.
The revolt began in 168 BC. The temple was recaptured and sacrifices were resumed in 165 BC.
Right.
The cleansing.
Wait. Because the reason it said it was resumed because the Greeks had cut them off from the temple when they was sacrificing swine, and they was doing abomination inside the temple.
Right.
And that's what made Mattathias and his sons angry. And they was ready to smoke something. Let's say that. They was ready to kill something.
Right.
About that temple.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says the cleansing of the temple and resumption of sacrifices have been celebrated annually ever since in the Feast of Dedication.
Right, the Feast of Dedication. That's the rededication to the temple.
That's right.
That's when we go into our schools and we go and we redecorate everything. Right.
Yeah.
It's the rededication. Right. If you know anything, that's how we solidify the Apocrypha, because in the rededication is where it started, and then Christ is celebrating the rededication in the New Testament.
Damn right.
That's how we solidify the Apocrypha. They can't say that the Apocrypha ain't real, because that's the only book that talks about the rededication.
That's right.
And Christ is celebrating the rededication in the New Testament. That's how we solidify the New Testament, right? All right, and that's how we solidify the Apocrypha. Go ahead.
The Maccabees served as both high priests and kings.
They served as what?
High priests and kings.
So they served as high priests and kings. Right? Go ahead.
The story of the Maccabees is told in 2 books of the Apocrypha.
Right.
1 and 2 Maccabees. There's 1st and 2nd Maccabees.
Right.
That's the end.
All right, and that's it. That's all I want on that.
Sir.
After that, let's go. Give me. Here. Matter of fact, I got it right here. Oop.
What's up?
about Antiochus, or is that his name? Yeah. Antiochus. They go right here. Persecution of the Jews. All right, yeah.
Do you want me to read the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is an excerpt about Antiochus Epiphanes. Antiochus Epiphanes was a Hellenistic king of the Seleucid Empire from 175 BC until his death in 164 BC.
Remember, we just read about the Hellenists, so he was the ones that made the Jews stop keeping their culture and stop keeping their culture and start keeping the culture of the Greeks.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
It says he was the son of King Antiochus III.
Uh-huh.
His original name was Mithridates. Mithridates.
Oh, I said great grandfather. I'm great grandfather.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He assumed the name Antiochus after he ascended the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Notable events during the reign of Antiochus IV include his near conquest of Egypt.
Right, because they started going to war with each other over what's his name? Alexander's kingdom. Go ahead.
His persecution of the Jews of Judea and Samaria.
Uh-huh. So that's what he's famous for. He's famous for his persecution of the Jews. He's famous for that. That's what he's famous for afflicting Jews, afflicting Israelites that was living in Greece. Keep going. Is that it?
A little bit more. And the rebellion of the Jewish Maccabees.
Yep, and he's famous for getting his butt whooped by the Maccabees, by the Maccabees brothers. That's what he's famous for getting his butt handed to him.
Right.
By the Maccabees, by Israelites. That's what he's famous for.
Mm-hmm.
He's famous for putting them through persecution and losing. That's what he's famous for. That's it on that. We can go to. I'm gonna need Alexander now. Matter of fact, let's get the scriptures real quick. Now we're gonna get into the scriptures a little bit, and then we're gonna go back and show you about Alexander. Give me First Maccabees 1:1.
Come on. First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip.
Right. So they running down Alexander's lineage. It's the Alexander, son of Philip. Right. If you know anything about Alexander and he comes from a man named Philip. Right. Go ahead.
The Macedonian who came out of the land of Kittim.
Of Kittim.
Of Kittim.
So Philip is from Macedonia, right? And Macedonia is a Greek country, but then they took over all of Greece, right? And then when they took over all of Greece, then they started taking over. Then Alexander started taking over all of the rest of the surrounding countries, and then he stretched all the way to India. Keep going.
It says, "Who came out of the land of Kittim had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes."
Salakia. They are not Macedonian. They are Edomites. But Macedonians were hiring Edomites at first to fight for them in their world and in their country, right?
Right.
And then eventually they took over over Macedonia, took over the government of Macedonia. That's why the names of the history of Macedonia, it goes from like Hanapepe, and then it starts going to Philip, and then right. So that's the changing in the nationality of the rulership. Keep going. My bad. Keep going.
Come on, sir. It says, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead.
Mm-hmm.
The first ever, Salakia, the first over Greece.
Right. So Alexander was the first Greece that defeated the Persians and the Medes, right? He killed Darius, the king of Persia.
Mm-hmm.
So that what gave him his rule in Persia. Is he killed Persia? He killed the Persian king, and he became ruler of all Persia. Go ahead.
Verse 2, and made many wars and won many strongholds.
Right. That's what Alexander was famous for. Alexander was famous for winning wars and getting many strong countries. That's what Alexander was made for. Go ahead. I mean, he not made for, but that's what he was. That's what he was known for. Go ahead.
And slew the kings of the earth.
They say he slew the kings of the earth because at Alexander time he ruled the biggest empire on the planet,
right?
That had ever been on the planet at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ruled that. because he was killing kings and he was out there doing work. Go ahead.
And took spoils of many nations.
And he took spoils of many nations. It says he took spoils of many nations because he was rulers of many nations.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In so much that the earth was quiet before him.
There was nobody that was coming against him after that. Nobody was coming against Alexander after that. He was able to he was able to chill out, and the earth was quiet. They wasn't trying to say nothing about Alexander,
right?
Nothing to Alexander, because he ruled a vast land of he ruled a vast amount of land.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up, and he gathered a mighty strong host. Right. And ruled over countries.
There you go. The host means army. So he gathered a mighty strong army. Right. And start that over. Replace host with army.
It said, verse 3, and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
Right.
Whereupon he was exalted.
Right. He was exalted above all those other nations. They liked Alexander. All those other nations liked Alexander because they said he was a great ruler or something. I don't know. He let everybody keep their nationalities and keep their customs and all that. I guess he was. Yeah, I don't know. Ain't nobody gonna rule over me then. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Come on, sir. It says, whereupon he was exalted, heart was lifted up, and he gathered a mighty strong host.
Armies.
He gathered a mighty strong army and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him.
So he ruled over countries and nations and kings. Right. So he let the kings stay kings. If they would just surrender in battle, he let kings stay kings, and then they had to pay him tributary taxes. Go ahead.
Sir. It says, and after these things, he fell sick.
Right. He fell sick because he was a homosexual, and I think he died of syphilis. Go ahead.
And perceived that he should die, wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable.
Right. So he called his generals up to him while he was sick. Go ahead.
And had been brought up with him from his youth.
Right, because they all came from his youth. What happened was he had his military captains, right? But then when they started getting more and more land, right, he started making them generals over his different parts of the army. Right, go ahead. And they was brought up with him from his youth. So these is his friends that he had from his youth. Go ahead.
And parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
And they did what?
Parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Remember, we just talked about that. I told you that they parted his kingdom, right? Go ahead.
It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years.
How many years?
12 years.
All right, go ahead.
And then died.
And then what?
Died.
Okay. Keep going.
And his servants bare rule everyone in his place.
So everyone in his place. So his servants, his generals, broke up the kingdom, and they all had a piece of his kingdom. That's how big his kingdom was, that they was able to take pieces of his kingdom and have their own kingdoms. Go ahead.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Right. After his death, they did what?
After his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years.
Right.
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
And what?
Evils were multiplied in the earth.
Right. So that's why these devils were multiplied in the earth. They started doing all types of manners of wickedness, idol worship and everything. And they started ruling over the people wickedly. Keep going.
Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root.
Right.
Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
So there came out of him a wicked root. He was wicked. Go ahead.
Son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome.
Right.
And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Right. Keep going.
In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
Right.
For since we departed from them, we've had much sorrow.
Go back to 11 and start at 11 again.
Khan. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men.
He said in those days went out there wicked men out of Israel, right?
Right.
So they was wicked for doing what they was about to do. Go ahead.
Saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us.
Right. They said they want to make a covenant, an agreement with the heathen that are round about us, just like these black leaders today, man.
Right.
Just like these black leaders, they sell their people out for a little bit of money.
Damn right.
Right. They sell their people out so they won't be harsh towards them. And they end up staying being harsh towards them. Right. So they did the same thing back then. They were doing the same thing back then. But these aren't that isn't Mattathias and his sons. That isn't Judah Maccabees and his brothers. These are wicked men that came out of Israel.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead.
It says, let us make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we've had much sorrow.
Right. Because since they departed from them, they had much sorrow. It was a hard living. Ain't nothing wrong with being a hard living. At least you free, man. Right? If y'all remember in Exodus when they left Pharaoh, it was a hard living in the wilderness, and they was talking about going back to Egypt, going back to being slaves in Egypt because it was too hard. Right? That's the same thing they're talking about. Because since they departed from the heathen, it became hard for them. They had many sorrows, so they was willing to go and make an agreement with the heathen nations instead of sticking it out with the Most High. Right?
That's in verse 11.
Go back up to verse 7.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
How many years did he reign?
12.
Hold on. Yeah, read that. How many? Read the question.
How many years did Alexander the Great reign?
How many years did Alexander the Great reign?
12 years and 8 months.
Okay, now go back to verse 7.
It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
So read this again.
How many years did Alexander the Great reign? 12 years and 8 months.
So how, and now read that out the Bible one more time.
It says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
So then how? So this apocrypha is real. This Bible is real. This Bible is real history. This Bible is real history. Can't nobody say that this Bible ain't real history because we just got real history out of the Bible. Now we're going to Alexander the Great.
Explain this.
Yeah, the apocrypha is real. The Bible is real. The Bible is real history. The Bible said Alexander reigned 12 years, and that's what this said right here. That it reigned 12 years. This is real history coming straight out the Bible. Go ahead, Art.
The fact that this was removed from the scriptures shows that our enemies have been censoring the Bible for all these generations. Just like the way that they use the media to try to persuade people to think a certain way. They even used our own book to persuade us that Christ was a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes and wore a toga like a Roman. But then when we find out in the scriptures from the Apocrypha, which is a part of the original scriptures, that the Greeks and the Romans were wicked people. They were wicked to Israel, and Israel, for the most part, and we're about to read here in a minute, did not go with the program. Thankfully, we had men that were real brothers out here that stood against this.
Right.
Alexander the Great. This is an excerpt about Alexander the Great, who was the first ruler of the Greek Empire.
Yeah, because we're not just blowing smoke. What the Bible say about Alexander was true, was real. It really happened. Go ahead.
Alexander III of Macedon, commonly known as Alexander the Great, was a king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon, a member of the Argead dynasty. He was born in Pella, a city in ancient Greece, in 356 BC. He succeeded his father, King Philip II, to the throne at the age of 20. And
wait. He said King Philip who?
King Philip II.
Hold that part right there. Now go back to Maccabees 1, verse 1 and 1.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian,
Right.
who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead first over Greece.
Right. Okay, now go back to the what's the name? See, so
son of Philip.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the son of Philip, Alexander, right? Go ahead.
Right. So reading this again, this is just to kind of hit
the important Alexander.
Yeah, it says commonly known as Alexander the Great was a king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon.
Right, that's Macedonia. Go ahead.
A member of the Argead dynasty, he was born in Pella, a city in ancient Greece.
Right.
In 356 BC. He succeeded his father, King Philip II, to the throne at the age of 20 and spent most of his ruling years conducting a lengthy military campaign throughout Western Asia and Northeastern Africa.
Right. Keep going.
By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to northwestern India.
Now read verse 2.
Verse 2.
Read verse 2.
And made many wars and won many strongholds.
Right.
And slew the kings of the earth.
Right. Keep going. Keep going on the what's the name?
By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires in history, stretching from Greece to northwestern India.
Start from one of the biggest empires in history. Start that again.
By the age of 30, he had created one of the largest empires in history.
Right. Stretching
from Greece to northwestern India.
Right. Ooh, that now if anybody knows anything about geography, right?
Yeah.
From Greece, so he has to encompass the Middle East, right? He has to encompass Iran. And then he goes to northwestern India. You know how big of a vast of land that is to conquer? Go ahead.
Is that technically what you consider modern day Turkey? Syria, Turkey? You're talking about that the right side of the Mediterranean, right? But he also had a whole northern side too.
That was Greece. You know what I mean? So he had Greece and he had all the way down to Israel, and then he had all the way east to northwestern what would you call it? Northwestern India.
One more sentence here. It says he was undefeated in battle.
He was what?
Undefeated in battle.
Read number 3.
Verse 3. And went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
Keep going.
Where in the scriptures?
No. In the scriptures. Yeah, in the scriptures.
Okay, it says, insomuch that Salakia, he said, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up.
Right, so he was exalted. Now read that part again where he was undefeated in battle.
He was undefeated in battle, is widely considered to be one of history's most successful military commanders.
Now read verse again.
Verse 4 says, and he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him.
Right. Look at that. And he was undefeated in battle.
In his 20s.
From age 20 all the way to 32, he was undefeated in battle. But we got that history from an article, right? And now we get the history from the Bible saying the same exact thing. So how they gonna say the Bible ain't a real book when the Bible giving real history? They just don't want to believe it's a real book because they don't want to change. That's what it is. All right. From there, let's get I think we're done with all the articles and stuff now. Yeah, we're done with all the articles and definitions and stuff now. Now we could get into the scriptures. Give me First Maccabees 2 and 1.
First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 1. In those days rose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Jairib from Jerusalem.
What did the Bible dictionary call Mattathias? A high priest? Right. The Bible just call him a priest?
All
right. Go ahead.
And dwelt in Modin, And he had 5 sons. Johanan called Caddis, Simon called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabees,
right?
Eleazar called Avaran, and Jonathan, whose surname was Aphus.
Right. Remember we were talking about his 5 brothers earlier, and then Judas was the first to be called a Maccabee.
Yeah.
Keep going on.
So it says, verse 6. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, "Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see the misery of my people?"
Right. So Judas Maccabees was not like the so-called black leaders that was so-called leaders that was in the first chapter. Remember in the first chapter they said that let's go make a covenant with them, right? With the heathen nations. Judah Maccabees seen them doing terrible things in the temple and being terrible to his people, and he was like, "Oh no." He's like, "Man, did I live to see this? Did I live to see my people treated like this?" That's how he was. So he showed real brotherhood.
Yeah.
He had real brother. He understood what was going on in the world. And he was like, my people being treated like this.
Yeah.
Right. And just like your black leaders of today, like your Queffo Dollars and your TD Snakes and your Dr. Umar Johnson, they can give a damn by the people. When the people start going through it, they take their money and skirt off and go somewhere else and go do something else. They don't care about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
Only man that cares about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today is Commander General Yohana and the men that he's raising up. Right. And the only men that cared about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans then was Mattathias and his sons. Mattathias and the men he was raising up.
Sir.
Keep going on.
He says, "Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see the misery of my people, and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hands of strangers."
Right, and the sanctuary into the hands of strangers. Right, that's those heathen nations that started to rule over the Israelites then. Right, because the men before Mattathias was made a covenant with them. So then when they made a covenant with them, of course they're going to break their covenant, and they're going to go in and do things to the temple and all that and that they weren't supposed to be doing. Keep going.
Verse 8. Her temple has become as a man without glory.
Right. So it says the temple had glory, but now it's become a man without glory. Now they're in there sacrificing swine. They're in there holding their high holy days in our temple. Keep going.
It says her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity.
Right. They spoiled our temple, and they took all the precious gold artifacts and stuff that was in our temple. Go ahead.
It's like it. Her infants are slain in the streets.
Go ahead.
Her young men with the sword of the enemy.
Right, so they was killing people. That at the temple, the infants in the streets, and the young men that was willing to fight against them. They started killing people in the streets. Go ahead.
It says, "What nation not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?"
Right. So every nation came and was spoiling Jerusalem and the temple. Every nation. It said what nation had not. Right. Just like now, what nation didn't take Israel into captivity and get rich off of Israel's back?
Right.
They're saying the same thing. All right, we could drop that. Give me First Maccabees 2 and 27.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 27. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, "Whosoever is zealous of the law."
Wait, say it again.
Whosoever is zealous of the law.
So whosoever got that law in their heart, whosoever down for the law, whosoever down with about not letting their temple go to waste, right? Whosoever ready to fight, whosoever want to keep the customs of the Most High, right? Keep the customs of Israel, right? Go ahead.
And maintain it the covenant,
right?
Let him follow me.
Let him do what?
Let him follow me.
Same thing like Commander General Yohana says, man. Same thing like Commander General Yohana says. Who want to do right by the Lord? Who want to get who want to get their culture back. If you want to get their culture back, man, I'm gonna teach you these scriptures. I'm gonna make you fishermen and men, man. Right? I'm gonna show you how to. I'm gonna show you how to get your kingdom back. Come with me. I'm gonna raise you up. That's what Commander Junior Hunter says, man. Come with me. I'm gonna clean you up. I'm gonna make you a priest. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right. No, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Now, he even says, I remember Commander Junior Hunter even said in some of the intros to some of his old videos, it was a clip from something he said on the street when he was when they were teaching at camp. He said, "Where the soldiers at? Where the warriors at? Where the men who are going to stand up for the Lord,
right,
and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments?" Which is an honorable thing to say. If you're an Israelite and you want to try to see your people thrive, to not give in to the heathen and their ways, and to keep our own original customs.
Right. I think that part is at the beginning of the new breed song. Right. You know
right.
What we got new brothers that's gonna stand with the Most High. Right. You know what I'm saying? Gonna stand with the Most High. You know what I mean? And keep His law, statutes, and commandments, and do right by the Lord. You got some new brothers in the earth, some new prophets that's gonna do right by the Lord. But even the same prophets of the old, we just in new bodies. You know what I mean? Start again at 27.
Verse 27. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, "Whosoever is jealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me."
I want to know why they ain't made a movie about Judas Maccabees and Mattathias and his sons.
I'm glad they didn't, because they'd probably say he was white. You know what? That's something for the kingdom.
I dig it. That is something for the kingdom. All right, I dig it. I
don't know if we're gonna have theaters or whatever, but we could see a replay of that or something. Good night.
Right, because that now some shit going on. You know what I'm talking about? It's finna get thick in the streets. He said, "Whoever down for the zealous of the law, follow me."
Yeah,
we gonna go do this. We finna fight back. You know what I'm talking about? That's some hard shit right there. That's a revolution right there. Go ahead.
We think about movies today and how we like to criticize them and break them down and look at the cinematics and the writing and how it all comes together. Nothing's more cinematic than what the Most High has written in our history.
Right.
Like, can you imagine being there at the time of when he said that and what it must have did to the people that heard it, the people that heard that call and took that call? And can you imagine that being portrayed in front of you to see that? Yeah. We're reading about it right now. This is the Most High script.
Yeah, I can. We live in that right now.
Yes, exactly.
We live in that shit right now.
Ain't nobody better when it comes to cinematics than the Most High, because he sure do like to put on a show, right?
Right.
And it's written all throughout this Bible that his stories is true and that his stories go hard in the yard, if you know what I'm saying. So
but we live in this. We're living this right now. We're living this right now. That's why our brothers going through Hebrew Academy and things like that. Right, because we live in this right now. Mattathias, keep reading.
Verse 28. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that they ever had in the city.
Right. So him and his sons went up to the mountains, and what they did, they probably did some more Hebrew Academy. You feel me? They probably did some Hebrew Academy. They was trying to get the brothers that went with them to fight and fight hard. So they would did some Hebrew Academy. They was teaching them how to fight. Right? Bringing the brothers up to speed. Go ahead.
Sir. Verse 29. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there.
Right. Jump down to 34.
Verse 34. But they said, "We will not come forth, neither will we do the king's commandment to profane the Sabbath day."
Right. So now the king sent arbitraries to them, right? And the king wanted them to do something on the Sabbath day, and they said they're not going to do what the king wants them to do on the Sabbath day. Keep going. But this is not Judah Maccabees and this is not Mattathias and his sons.
Right.
This is a separate group that was in Israel. Go ahead.
So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Howbeit they answered them not, neither cast they a stone at them, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, "Let us die in all our innocency. Heaven and earth will testify for us.
Go back to 35. We'll start over at 35.
Verse 35. So then they gave them the battle with all speed.
Right.
Howbeit they answered them not.
Right. So the kingsmen gave them battle, and then the brothers that didn't want to profane the Sabbath day and didn't want to go to war on the Sabbath day, they answered them not. So they didn't go back to war. They didn't go back to battle after the on the Sabbath day. Keep going.
It says, verse 35. So then they gave them the battle with all speed. Howbeit they answered them not. Neither cast they a stone at them.
Right. So they didn't even throw a stone back at them. They just died. They just let them murder them. Let them kill them. Go ahead.
Damn, nor stopped the places where they lay hid, but said, "Let us die in all our innocency."
Right. So they want to die innocent. They want to be like Martin Luther King. They want to go on march and and just get beat upside the head and hit upside the head
peaceful
with
protest.
Peaceful protest basically.
Hands up, don't shoot.
But the king ain't about that. The king ain't like that. The king ain't like that. The king and his men, they like to fight and they like to war and they like to go and they'll kill you if they need to. Go ahead.
But said, "Let us die in all our innocency. Heaven and earth will testify for us that he put us to death wrongfully."
Right. And the Most High seen that. The Most High seen that. They are right in that sense, but in that sense, they should, Most High like a fight. The Most High would like for them to stand up and go ahead.
Verse 38. So like it says, in the end of verse 37, it says, "Heaven and earth will testify for us that you put us to death wrongfully." Verse 38. So they rose up against them in battle on the Sabbath, and they slew them. Right.
So the king's men came and killed them, killed the brothers. Go ahead. It's gonna say,
and their wives and children, and battle to the number of 1,000 people.
Right. So they killed them. They killed their wives and they killed their children. Right. That's what the king's men did. They killed them. They killed their wives and they killed the children and they killed the cattle, all the way up to 1,000 men, to 1,000 people. Right. So 1,000 people slain. 39.
Verse 39. Now when Mattathias and his friends understood hereof, they mourned for them right sore.
Right. So Mattathias and them heard about what happened, and they mourned for them. They felt for them. They felt for them because they felt for their brothers.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
And one of them said to another, "If we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen."
Right. Wait. And do what?
And fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen.
They said not fight for their lives and their laws against the heathen. Right? You see how zealous they were for the law? They was willing to fight and fight and die for the law. Right? How many brothers in how many blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans willing to fight and die for the law? Show brotherhood like that. I know the brothers in I.S.U.P.K are. I don't know about all the other brothers, all the other blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but I know the ones in I.S.U.P.K. We're trained to fight for that. Go ahead.
Officer Slug, it was Captain Akkad O'Brien said in the beginning of his song "Take Ground." He said that he would stand and fight for his brothers, right?
Right.
Even in our music, it says the same thing. It's like a war cry. It's almost like the same thing when Mattathias was calling out to the Israelites. Who out here ain't scared to say the truth? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I was gonna mention.
I don't know who that is, bro, but it's probably something important since they're calling late.
Nah, spam calls, man.
No, I would have said it. Keep going.
Khan Wakhan says, verse 40. And one of them said to another, "If we all do as our brethren have done, and fight not for our lives and laws against the heathen."
Right. If we don't fight for our lives and our laws, right? Fight for our customs, fight for our heritage against the heathen. Go ahead.
They will now quickly root us out of the earth.
They will do what?
They will now quickly root us out of the earth.
Right. They're now take our roots out of the earth. They're gonna take everything that we struggle for, everything that we strive for out of the earth right now at this moment. So we have to fight for them. We have to fight against them. We have to fight for our lives. We have to fight for our laws. We have to fight for our heritage. We have to fight for our culture. We have to fight for it. Keep going.
At that time, therefore, they decreed, saying, whosoever shall come to make battle with us on the Sabbath day, we will fight against him.
We will do what?
We will fight against him.
Uh-huh.
Neither will we all die all as our brethren that were murdered in the secret places.
Right. So if they come for us, that's what Mattathias and his son said. If they come for us, then we're gonna fight. Right? We're gonna fight. We're gonna show them what war is about if they come for us. You keep going.
Then came there unto him a company of Hasidians,
Right,
who were mighty men of Israel.
they were who?
Mighty men of Israel.
Right. So they started. The Syrians heard what was going on. And they was like, yeah, we got to go join them. We got to go join what's going on because we ready to fight too. We fight for our laws. We fight for our culture.
Damn right.
Right. That's why this class's unity is brotherhood and warfare. Go ahead.
It says, then came there unto him a company of Hasidians, who were mighty men of Israel.
Right.
Even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law.
Right. They were what?
Voluntarily devoted unto the law.
That devout. They were devout men to the law. They was devout men. Devoted to the law.
Damn right.
Right. And brotherhood is a law. Unity is a law. Go ahead.
Also, all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them.
Right. So everybody else that was running from persecution joined to them too. Unity, bro. They was finding brothers, like-minded brothers like themselves that was willing to stand up for Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Keep going.
Right. It says right here, verse 43 again. Also, all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a stay unto them.
Right.
Verse 44. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger, and wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for succor.
Right. For safety, right? That's what I'm saying. Start 44 over again. So
verse 44.
So when they came together under God's laws and brotherhood, they started killing. They started getting the get back to the heathen. They started giving what the heathen was giving out. Go ahead.
So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger.
They did what?
Smote sinful men in their anger.
Yeah, they was chopping. They was chopping boys up, and the sinful men. They was chopping them boys up, man. In their anger, they was angry. They was angry, but they didn't sin. So the Most High was with them. Right. Go ahead.
And wicked men in their wrath.
And wicked men in their wrath. They was wrathful. But the Most High was with them because they kept the law. They didn't sin. Go ahead.
But the rest fled to the heathen for succor.
Right. But then there was some that the ones that didn't come join them in battle. They fled to the heathen for safety. Right. That's what they did. They fled to the heathen for safety.
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 45. Then Mattathias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars.
They did what?
Pulled down the altars.
They pulled down the altars. They broke the altars. They burnt the altars. They was like, yeah, y'all put altars to your gods in our lands. So we're gonna burn this thing down. We're gonna pull down your altars. Keep going.
And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised,
right,
though they circumcised valiantly.
Right. So the ones that wasn't uncircumcised, they circumcised them.
They pursued also after the proud men, and
right,
the work prospered in their hand.
Right.
So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles.
Right. So they took everything out of the hands of the Gentiles that the Gentiles was doing. So they were setting up their nationhood again. All right, you over this, you over that. But the Gentiles that was working there, they kicked them out. Go ahead.
It says, and out of the hand of kings, neither suffered they the sinner to triumph.
Right. So then none of the sinners that was there, or none of the heathen nations that was there, triumphed over Judas Maccabees and his brothers and Mattathias again. They kicked everybody out of Israel, and they start setting up their government because they started to rule Israel again. So they start setting up their government. We need another one. We're almost done, I think. I don't think so.
Did you want to save those for next time?
I mean, we can, but
Con, just make sure you had 2.
I don't care.
All right.
We probably won't get through half of it.
Con, sir.
Right. Now go to Mac. Okay, I got it. Go to Maccabees 3. The first chapter, the first verse.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 1. Their son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead.
Wait. Say it again.
It says, then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead.
Right. So now, so Mattathias died. Right, Mattathias was old already, but he did enough work, so then he died.
Right.
And then his son Judas Maccabees rose up and became the ruler. Became a ruler like his daddy was.
Con.
Go ahead.
And all his brethren helped him.
And all his what?
All his brethren helped him.
Go ahead.
And so did all they that held with his father.
And so did all they that held with his father. So everybody that was with his father, right? So his father had friends too, right? So everybody that was friends with his father, they pledged their allegiance to Judas Maccabees. Go ahead.
Con, so it says, and they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel.
Right, they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel. So this revolution wasn't just one battle. It was many battles, and they kept going. Keep going.
Con. It says, verse 3. So he got his people great honor.
Right.
And
so Judah Maccabees got his people great honor and victory of battles. Right, because that's how you get that. That's how you was getting honor back then. Great victories of battle. Nowadays, a Christian can tell y'all, we don't want to battle. We don't want to battle. In I.S.U.P.K, we know whoever wins is who's the Lord with. Go ahead, Art.
If I could, we look for victories like this. We've always been competitive, and everything from sports when it comes to boxing, martial arts, basketball, football. A lot of physical contact, things that make us feel that form of victory. We've always been trying to chase that type of glory, but in fact, the true glory was what he did when he took back our kingdom and got our laws back and represented Israel in a righteous way. And we try to, and today, just to kind of give you an idea, this is like similar to when you see your favorite basketball team win the championship. You get that feeling of, yeah, man, it's my team. We won, man. Imagine the glory of getting your kingdom back and the glory that comes with that and the status that comes with that and the honor that comes with seeing your people succeed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I was going to add to that.
Right. Hey, he ain't lying, man. He telling the truth, man. Telling the truth. That's how the things of old was done. That's how we did it in the old times.
Right.
We go to war. Whoever won the war, that's who the Lord was with. Right nowadays, these brothers, I don't want to argue. I don't want to debate because they scary, man. They're not down with war. They're gonna be like the other ones that you ain't gonna fight on the Sabbath day. That's gonna be them, man. That's gonna be them because they're not down with warfare, man. And I.S.U.P.K, we're taught warfare. Everything, like I wish I had my shirt on. Life is about warfare.
Right.
We warred everything in the I.S.U.P.K. Life is about warfare. Go ahead, Art.
Our entire kingdom is set up as an army for a reason.
Right.
Warfare is just a part of our culture to be ready for it, to be ready to defend our culture.
Right. Ready to defend the Most High. That's why it says the Lord of Hosts. Right? The Lord of Armies.
Right.
That's what it is. The Lord of Armies.
We're
the greatest army on this planet. We were so great that even now, the big militaries of today use our military format of our military strategies. Right, of how they defend themselves. Ask them how they get the military formations. They got their military formations from Israelites and how Moses left Egypt. Right, that's how they get their military formations nowadays, especially in the military, in the American military. All right, let's keep going.
This is verse 3. So he got his people great honor and put on a breastplate as a giant and girt his warlike harness about him.
Right. So he put on his breastplate, his armor, and he put on his golden belt. Right? Go ahead. He put on his belt like we do when they say we look like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But that's part of culture, man. That's how we go to war, man. Go ahead.
It says, and he made battles. That's like, let me back up a little bit. And girt his warlike harness about him, and he made battles, protecting the host with his sword.
Replace host with armies.
Protecting the army with his sword.
Right, protecting the armies with his sword. Is there any more on that? Because I only got to verse 3, but it could probably be some more on that.
Verse 4. In his acts, he was like a lion.
Right.
And like a lion's whelp roaring for his prey.
Right.
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out and burnt up those that vexed his people.
Wait, go back to pursued the wicked.
For he pursued the wicked.
So they was running away from him, and he was going after them like, come
back over here,
don't be running out. Don't run out. Yeah, what you running for? Yeah, what you running for? What you running for? That's how he was. He pursued the wicked. You know what I mean? Oh, now y'all gonna run? Don't run. Don't run. He was probably on his horse like, don't run. Don't run now. Don't run now.
Yeah, you about that action. That's for sure.
Yeah, about that action. You wasn't running when you was killing my brothers in the circuit places.
Yeah.
And their wives and their children. You wasn't running in, so don't run now. Right. That's Brotherhood. Go ahead.
There does need to be a movie about that.
That's what I'm saying, man. I feel like it'd be a cold movie, dog. I feel like
you think of like the 300, right? You think of like all the war movies you seen, bro. If there was a Maccabees movie that was directed by some brothers,
son, they got a movie on Netflix that's after Braveheart. You know what I mean? It goes directly after Braveheart. What happened directly after Braveheart, son? That's one of the hardest movies, yo. I was watching that last night. I was like, this movie is crazy. You feel me? Like they was really fighting. They was really fighting in that movie. I had me a good old drink. I said, yeah, go ahead and fight. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's what I'm saying, though, man. Like that would be crazy to see and live through that. You know what I mean? Like,
right. And get to tell war stories. Say, man, I remember this happened. Look, check it out. So they was running. They started to run. We came down on them, right? And they started to run. I was riding my horse after them. Don't run now.
I got one more thing to say.
Don't run now. That's what I was telling about. You know what I mean? Think about you telling your kids that about you running down on them and you was on the horse and they was running from you. You know what I mean? Like that. Go ahead, Art.
Imagine if this Alexander the Great heard about the Maccabees. If he lived to see what these men were capable of, surely he would have said this could be a worthy foe.
Right.
And maybe perhaps would have been his match if he came against the Judas Maccabees. You know what I'm talking about? Like, come on now.
But see, Alexander was a different type of king. Alexander let them keep their customs.
That's true.
Alexander wasn't worried about that as long as they paid a little taxes or whatever he was like, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, remember they had a king that rose up, Antiochus.
You're right.
And he was making it illegal for brothers to be Jews and to keep their culture and to say that they was a Jew and keep the Sabbath day and the feast days. You know what I mean? So it was two totally different times or two totally different rulers. You know what I mean?
Right. Now I'm just saying, you know, that was the best of the Greco-Roman Empire, you would say, or at least the Greeks.
Alexander probably would have been like, "Say, y'all want to fight for me, bro? I give y'all some extra dough. Yeah, like you want some? What y'all want? Some more land? I give y'all some more land. All right? Y'all want this? Y'all want that? Like y'all some because y'all battling out here, man. Y'all some fighters. Mm-hmm. I like fighters. You know what I mean?
There's a little bit more if I could.
Keep going. Right.
So verse 6, wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand.
Right. Because salvation prospered in Judah Maccabee's hands, because Judah Maccabee wasn't no punk. Judah Maccabee was a real nigga.
That's a real brother right there.
Yeah. Judah Maccabees was about smoke. He wanted smoke. You want smoke? I give you smoke. That's how Judah Maccabees was.
Right.
You want some problems? I give you some problems. There ain't no sweat. Like, oh, they want war. We'll show him what war is. And he probably prayed before he did it. Lord, you know, so, you feel me? Let me smite these. Let me smite these heathen out of our land in your name. You know, so your reputation. Let's go. You know, so like, and the Lord was with them, man. The Lord was with Judas Maccabees and his brothers. Why? Because they kept the law. They were zealous for the law. Something they learned from their father. That's why they was high priests.
It just keeps going, man. This is crazy.
I know. I was reading earlier. I was like, man, where do I stop? Where do I stop?
You know, because we read for the Feast of Dedication, right? But this whole book, like, we don't read the whole entire book.
Yeah.
During the feast of during the Hanukkah, right?
Right.
But when it comes down to it, and you read this, and you can really go in depth, even after the initial wars. You know what I'm saying? The things that this is bringing out is so heavy because it's just consistency, and the brothers just winning and winning and winning, and not only that, the brothers that are with him are not dropping next to him,
and they fighting hard too.
Yeah,
and they fighting hard, they keeping the law about it. You know what I mean? They're keeping the law about it.
And you know what's crazy too?
We ain't seen something so great since Moses.
It says that they're running away from him.
Yeah,
like, think about, like, you know how white people be in their cars and they lock the door because they see you walk by because you look scary, or you got a hoodie on. Imagine like that times a million. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you seeing brothers that are really like, hey, you're a man of war and you're running away.
Right.
That's crazy, man.
Think about you ever seen Lone Survivor? Think about them brothers running away from Judas Maccabees. Run away from brothers nowadays. It's that's like tough. That. They running away, scared, fleeing.
Definitely need to get more into this. This is crazy.
Right. Well, we done with that. Give me 2 Timothy 2.
Second Timothy.
Yeah, 2 Timothy 2, start at verse 3.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness.
You do what?
Endure hardness.
You think it wasn't hard for Judah Maccabees and them to go into the mountains, to be in the mountains, right? Living off the land. You think that wasn't hard for Judas Maccabees to go leave their houses with their kids and their wives, just to go defend themselves?
Right.
Keep going.
Endure hardness as a good soldier for Yahushua.
As a good soldier for who?
Yahushua.
Yeah, man, because we in the Lord's army now. We in the Lord's army. When you join I.S.U.P.K, you in the Lord's army, so you got to endure hardness, right? You can't always just have it your way. It ain't always just gonna be peaches and cream and peaches. It ain't always gonna be sunshine and rainbows. Nah. Sometimes it's gonna be some hard days, man. We're gonna have to go out there to camp in the rain. It's gonna be some hard days where you ain't gonna have food. You ain't gonna be able to pay your bills all the time. It's gonna be some hard days, man. Keep going.
No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Right. So when you war, you don't worry about what's going on in the world right now. You worry about your task and your task only, man. Whatever the men above you sent you to go do. Right? No matter what it may be. Maybe it might be finishing camp signs. It may be going to host Shamar. No matter what it may be, that's what you're worried about. Is that task, man? You're not worried about the things of this of life, of this world. We're not worried about the things of this world. We're worried about the things that we have been, the task that has been presented in front of us to do, to keep this nation rolling, man. Keep going.
That he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier.
Right. So we could please the Most High, man, because the Most High chosen us to be soldiers. We didn't choose the I.S.U.P.K. The I.S.U.P.K. chose us. That sounds like Martin Luther King. I mean, not Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
We
didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. But yeah, we didn't choose the I.S.U.P.K, man. The Most High chose us to be in the I.S.U.P.K. We didn't choose I.S.U.P.K. We wasn't just like walking around like, what's your Israelite group? What's your Israelite group? No, the Most High presented it in front of us, and we was like, yeah, man, that's. And Most High was like, yeah, call that number. Get in class. Get your Hebrew name. Become an officer. Get some rank. Do this, do that. The Most High chose us, man. We didn't choose we didn't choose to be a part of the I.S.U.P.K. Right? The Most High chose us to be a part of the I.S.U.P.K. The Most High gave us the tools to. He pulled us out the world and was like, yeah, call this number and get the number to Captain Yatazak. Okay. You know what I mean? For some reason, he picked up that phone and was like, and you call Captain Yatazak. Go ahead. Because there's many brothers that got the number, but did not call him. Go ahead.
You know, when it's saying that it says that he may please him who had chosen him to be a soldier, what's heavy about that is that the mindset that somebody that comes into the truth and knows that this is something that they need to do, that nothing's going to stop them from doing this work, that's what it's all about. That's where you know that the Most High chose you, because you're not going to do this like as if it's something that you just decided to do. You'll get the feeling that this is something that you have to do. This is something that you know needs to be done. With that type of conviction, that's the type of brothers that are in this truth.
Right. And then in the future, you'll be able to teach men how to be like that. You'll be able to teach men how to be like that. But first, you have to go through you have to go through the ranks like everybody else. You have to be a young man, a trooper, an officer. And then you can start teaching men how to become a young man, how to be a trooper, how to be an officer. But first, you have to go through it. Just like Commander General Yohana. Commander General Yohana went through it. Commander Yohana was a young man. Then he was a trooper. Then he became an officer. Then he became a captain. Then he was a general. He went through it. What makes you better than him?
Damn right.
That's what I'm saying. Keep going, all right?
Come. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned.
Right. So if you strive for masteries, he is not crowned. So you could be a master, you could be great at these scriptures, but you still won't be crowned until the men above you give you that title. Go ahead.
Except he strive lawfully.
Right. So you won't be able to do that until they observe you and you go by the law. See, when you go by the law, then the Most High give you that strength. The Most High give you that crown.
Man, that's heavy, man. Because if I could,
right? Go ahead.
That precept's so heavy. As if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully.
Right.
If you want to master your life, you gotta keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You can't run away from it. You can't fake it. You can't pretend like you focused on this life. You're not supposed to entangle yourself with the affairs of this life. You're supposed to focus on this truth. You're supposed to focus on these laws so that you can strive for mastery. If you're trying to master this and master that, the only thing that you should be focused on is mastering that law. And then, only then will you be crowned. Only then will you be able to say that you're good at what you do every single day. Everything else just falls into place after you master this truth. That's something that you should be striving for.
Right. That's why Judas Maccabees and his brothers won the war, because they were keeping the law. If they weren't keeping the law, the Lord would not be with them, so they would not win that war.
I'm right.
But the Lord was with them because they was keeping the law, so they won the war. It's that simple. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not difficult. It's not strange. Keep going, huh?
Come on. That's the 5.
Oh, that is?
Come on, sir.
Give me 2 Samuel 5:1.
Come on.
Because us coming together in brotherhood to win wars and to fight against wars, that's been going on since the beginning of time in Israel.
Damn right.
That's been going on since the beginning of time in Israel. We always come together to fight a war. Somewhere, somehow, because always somebody's trying to fight. Somebody's trying to come in and defeat us, and they can't do it because we come together under the law, statutes, and commandments, and we win the war. And they'd be like, man, how did that little army defeat us? Because the Lord is with us, man. How many times we got to say that? The Lord is with Israel, man. How many times we have to say that, man? We got to say it one more time, man. The Lord is with us. Go ahead, Doc.
This is 2 Samuel, chapter 5, verse. You want to start at verse 1?
Yes, sir.
Verse 1. Then came all the tribes of Israel unto David, unto Hebron, and spake, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh.
We're thy what?
Thy bone and thy flesh.
Man, we family, David. King David, you are our family. We are bone and we are flesh together. Keep going.
Also in time past, when Saul was king over us, thou wast he that led us out and brought us in Israel.
Right. Saul was the one that was leading us in the old times, but now you leading us. Keep going.
And the Lord said to thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be a captain over Israel.
Be a what?
Shall be a captain over Israel.
So even King David had to go through the ranks. King David has to work his way up through the ranks. He wasn't just always going to be always king of Israel. Right. He had to be a young man, a trooper, an officer, a captain.
Yeah, I'm right.
Right? Go ahead, Doc.
And the Lord said to thee, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be a captain over Israel. Verse 3. So all the elders of Israel came to the king unto Hebron.
Right.
And said, King David made with them in Hebron before the Lord.
Right.
And they anointed David king over Israel.
And they did what?
Anointed David king over Israel.
Now read the next verse.
Verse 4. David was 30 years old when he began to reign.
Right.
And he reigned 40 years.
He did what?
He reigned 40 years.
Ooh, man. So King David, he was 13 when he fought the Goliath, right?
Right.
And then when he was 30, he became king over Israel. So in between that time, he was getting his rank raises. He went from a young man because he was a Saul's sword bearer. Right, so he went from a young man to Saul's sword bearer. Then he started getting rank in order, a trooper. Then he became an officer. Then he became a captain, and then he became king. And then he reigned 40 years.
So he reigned until he was 70.
Right. So everybody just wanted to come into I.S.U.P.K and get this rank and be like this and be like that. Man, you got to work your way up, man, like everybody else. You got to go to Passover, set up tables.
Yeah.
You got to go to Passover and serve brothers. You got to teach class. You got to go to camp. You can't just get in here and think that she's gonna get the rank by just doing nothing. You have to do things to get the rank, man. You have to feed the people. You have to serve the people, man.
That's right.
Because just like any of the officers, captains, and generals above you, man, they'll tell you they're here to serve the people. They're here to serve the men below them.
That's right.
It's not just them, the men below them serving them. They have to serve the men below them. It's that simple. Keep on going, Art.
Come. It says, in Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months.
How long?
7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem, he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah.
Right. So that's 40 years. That's 40 years.
Yeah, right.
And then he passed the kingdom to Saul. I mean, I saw Solomon.
And you know what's heavy about this too?
Go ahead, Art.
Is that quality men are built from the ground up, so that any brother that comes up next will be just as great of a leader as the one that came before him,
because they know what it takes to get there.
Yeah. Commander General Hanna is the man in charge of Israel under the I.S.U.P.K, under Christ, under the Most High. But best believe any of the men that he's taught, any of the men that are under him could take that step if everything and ever, you know what I'm saying? And the Most High, God forbid anything happen. But I'm just saying, any of these men are fit to lead because he's got generals right there next to him that are powerful, just like him.
I remember one of the 5,000 was telling a story about Commander General Yohana, man, about being at one of the Passovers, and he said that it was time to clean up, so everybody was cleaning up, right? And he looked over, he said Commander General Yohana was over there sweeping. He had a broom in his hand and he was sweeping. And he went up, walked over there and tried to get the broom from Commander General Yohana. Commander General Yohana was like, no, I got this warrior, go do something else. And he was like, no, sir, I'd rather get the broom from you and do. He's like, and Commander General Yohana was like, no, warrior, I got this, go do something else. And he was like, and he looked at Commander General Yohana, and Commander General Yohana looked at him like, Negro, I got this, go do something else. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That shows how much Commander General Yohana, you know what I mean? Like even at being a commanding General Yohana, he's still ready to do some young men work. Mm-hmm. He's ready to. He still wants to put in work.
He's not. I mean? He doesn't ever get comfortable, right? Like the scripture says in Micah chapter 2, and says, like it says, he don't get comfortable though. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, okay, he don't get comfortable. You feel me? Like Commander General Yohana still doing the work of a trooper, of a young man. You know what I mean? Even at being Commander General Yohana, he still does work. He still does the lowest job of it. He'll still sweep. He'll move chairs, tables if he wants. You know what I mean? Like so he's not above the next man, or he's not like that. That's a leader.
Yeah.
That's a leader. To look over and see Commander General Yohana sweeping, you be like, I gotta go do something else. Like I gotta go move some more. I mean, he over here sweeping, like he's Commander General Yohana. I'm just a 50, so I gotta go move some more tables. I gotta put some more chairs up. I gotta you know what I mean, drive brothers and sisters to the airport. I gotta do something. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
That just shows that he strived lawfully and he mastered brotherhood.
Right.
He mastered unity. And that's something that to take note of, because if we're all to get to that same point, we have to be have that same level of humility, have that same level of brotherhood, because that's what allows this nation to get built. Because we are not selfish. We are the ones that are supposed to be building our nation. And to be that person to lead our people, whatever rank you are, your part is important. And so that's just what we're reading about right here. King David, they made him king. He didn't make himself king, right?
Yeah.
They was like, no, we gonna anoint you as king because you deserve it. You know what I mean? Like he was just putting in work. And then imagine once he was in power, he didn't abuse that power.
Hey, when they came and got David, he was tending to the shepherds. Right. I mean, he was tending to the goats and the sheep.
Yeah.
He wasn't worried about doing he wasn't worried about doing no soldier work. But then when they seen Goliath, everybody was scared. And King David was like, what, y'all scared? Give my slingshot, bro. Like, give my slingshot. Let me do this work.
Oh, you got this big nigga trying to talk down? Okay, hold on. Oh,
I'm pretty sure he was looking at his brothers like, bro, you be picking on me and stuff, and you scared of this? You scared of Goliath? Give me my slingshot, bro. Like, you feel me?
I'm about to one-touch this cat one time.
What? You know what I'm talking? Like, boom. Oh, man. Then he went to go take Goliath's sword and cut off his head. Like, yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Big flex. Like, a big trip. You know what I'm talking about? Like, hey, y'all was scared. Watch out, man. So, watch out. I'm pretty sure Saul seen that and was like, hey, come over here. You be my sword bearer. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to teach you everything that I know. You feel me? But everybody else was scared. Like, oh, my God, Goliath. He's so strong. He's so big. They was like, man, give me my slingshot, bro. Give me that big stone over there. Yeah. What? You know what I'm talking about? Like, you feel me?
That shit just said,
like,
man. Come on, man.
Then he walked over there and was like, give me your sword, Goliath. You know what I'm talking about? Chopped off his head and was like,
remember, it's a black folk, man. Don't be trying to imagine this with one of the white folks.
Yeah, and King David was a Judite, so I'm pretty sure he was like, yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he grabbed his head and was like, like, yeah. Y'all was, and he went over there and he said something crazy like, y'all was scared. Y'all scared. Y'all scary. You scared, bro? What was you scared of? Like, you feel me? Like, I'm pretty sure he black. He a black man. Y'all scared? You scared? I feel your heart beating. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, but he slayed thousands of people.
Tens of thousands.
So it wasn't nothing to him.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands.
King David slaying tens of thousands. They said Saul slaying thousands. King David slaying tens of thousands. That's why King Saul was jealous.
That's how you know he in his bag, yo, because you got to be in some kind of rhythm to be just
right.
Just like moving all around the battlefield, blocking this cat here, parrying this cat here, doing this right here. Handling business, yo. Come on, bro.
If I was King Saul, I wouldn't even be jealous.
He like a boss battle in the middle of the warfare. You know what I'm saying?
If I was King Saul, I wouldn't even be jealous, bro. I'd be like, hey, you know, I saw David. Hey, bro.
They try to 3v1 him. He still get them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, son.
Hey, bro, you the realest. Why you out here killing niggas like this?
And then he rap about it and then make him go hard. Everybody appreciate it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. He'll play the harp about it. Yeah, I'm killing tens of thousands of tens. You like that, right, man? That.
Salakia, sir. I didn't mean to get off topic like that.
You like this though, right, man? It's that flavor. It's that flavor carbonated water, man.
It went good with the whiskey. I ain't gonna lie.
Right, ain't got no sugar in it, man. I like that. I was like, yeah, sugar, and it got high loads of potassium.
Come on, sir. That's in the verse 3.
That's in the verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
There should be some more. I don't think there's no more.
That's the end of that. It'll be Joshua next.
Hey, man, let me tell you where I'm going, man.
Slakia,
let me tell you where I'm going, man.
You me. I got the precepts written down.
You right, Joshua.
Okay, come on, sir. We got Joshua.
Who's all in here, bro? Because it's only two people that signed in. Oh, it's Officer Dabalama.
Actually can see it right here. There's people that came in at some point.
No, Officer Gabwa is watching. Lamai is watching. Ishaya is watching. Officer Ishaya. Okay. Let me see. My bad.
Want me to read the precept, sir?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Joshua chapter 1 and verse 7. Verse 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest.
Read that one more time, Mark.
That was just verse 7. That's the kind of precept you got to put on your wall, you know what I'm talking about, like that. Verse 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous.
Right. So be strong and courageous. Don't be scurry like the rest of the brothers that was with King David, because they were scared of Goliath. And King David was like, man, give me my slingshot. I want my slingshot. You don't want a sword? No. Give me my slingshot.
He was flexing.
I got the jump. I got the drop on him. You feel me? I know exactly what to do. Keep going.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all the law.
To what?
That thou mayest observe to do according to all the law.
Not some of the law. Not a couple laws. All the law.
Right.
Keep going.
Which Moses my servant commanded thee.
But Moses did what?
Which Moses my servant commanded thee.
So they didn't ask. He didn't suggest it. He committed that thing there. Keep going.
Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest.
Right. He said don't turn away from it to the left hand. You know what I'm talking about? Or the right. He said keep straight, steadfast.
Right.
Right. That way, wherever you go, you may possess those laws. Those laws might be yours. Those laws be yours wherever you go. That way you don't never forget about these laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep going on.
This is my favorite precepts ever right here. This is Joshua chapter 1. We're on verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Should I do what?
Depart out of thy mouth.
You should forever be speaking about the law.
Right.
Especially if you speak it to somebody that's an Israelite that's not keeping the law. You should always speak in the law. Law this, law that. Because that's what gets the most high on your back. That's what gets the most high in your favor.
That's a good precept.
By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, that's what gets the most high back on your side. You be like, oh, you keeping the law? I'm gonna be right here on your shoulder. Just say something. You know what I'm saying? Then you saying something, you don't even know what you're saying because the most high saying it for you. But oh snap, like I said that. You know what I mean? You get to watching your videos back on, you be like, I said that. Yeah, the most high was right there on your shoulder. He was like, yeah, he took the helm. He didn't know you didn't know what you were saying. The most high was saying it for you. He was like, right. Yeah, oh, I broke him down like that. You feel me? Like, no, most high broke him down like that. Oh, you're right, because I don't even remember that. That's used in the spirit. Go ahead.
This is a perfect precept to cut somebody to try to tell you something slick. Like, why are you always talking about the Bible? You're always talking about following the law, this, that. That's all you ever talk about. And then you read this precept to them. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Right.
You're supposed to talk about it. Why ain't you talking about it?
Right. I remember Captain Yachts like telling me all the time. When the first time I went up to speak, he said I was so nervous. I remember this. I remember this. The first time I went up to speak at camp, I was so nervous. I got up there to speak and I threw and I had my notes in my phone and I threw my notes. I threw my phone, boom, all the way across the street.
Wow.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I was nervous. I was so nervous. I was booming. I was like, oh man, my phone went over there, way over there. They gave my phone. I broke my phone back. I broke my phone and everything. But like 2 minutes into it, I was just so comfortable up there. Like the spirit started speaking through me. You feel me? The spirit started speaking through me.
Because you're going to war. And you're keeping the laws. And the Most High gave you that courage because you kept these laws.
Yeah, and now it's just like second nature to me. But the first time I was so nervous, boy, I was up there shaking. Ooh, but then 2 minutes into it, I was like, it just came natural me after that. And I was like, all right. You know what I mean? And Captain Yachts like bring this out all the time. Well, he brought it out to me. He's like, I remember your first time speaking. He was like, you was so nervous. He's like, you was like way scared. I was like, oh, you know what
You're like scared.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Now I get up there and speak. All right. You know, you feel me? Okay. I get up there and the Lord get to working with me and I get to speaking. Sometimes you be saying scriptures off your dome that you ain't even, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you got your notes. And you be getting your notes, you be speaking this scripture, that scripture, you know, you got what you're saying, but you be like, you know what, hold up, give me such and such, and then give me such and such, and then you be off your dome, not even going by your notes. You be like, oh man, let me get back to my notes. You know what I mean? Like that. The Lord is working with you then. The Lord is working with you then, and that happens to brothers all the time, man. Brothers have notes, have a whole lesson plan, and then something comes upon them, they be like, man, you know what? Give me, you know what I mean? And you just switch scriptures just like that. Just like I have notes here, but then I'll be like, man, give me and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it starts to circulate in your mind. Like you actually got a lot of precepts going on in your mind. And that's the benefit of not having this book of the law depart out of that mouth, because you're always talking about it, you're always remembering it. And the more that you remember it, the more you can solve issues, the more you can show that wisdom to other people.
That's because the Lord comes in. The Lord comes in and he starts talking for you. You just be like, give me, you know what I mean? The Lord comes in, that spirit of the Most High comes in, and then he gets the warrant for you. You feel? He gets to speak it for you. You'll get that when you pass your officer's test and become an officer and get to speak. You'd be like, okay, I don't know where that came from. Like, I don't think I ever heard that scripture before in my life, but I pulled it. You know what I mean? Real talk.
I was about to say, you pull a scripture, ain't even memorized? Okay.
Real talk. You be like, I don't know where that scripture came from.
Go give me Haggai 3:1.
Yeah, but it came. And it was the right scripture at that time. You feel me? That's because the Lord jumps in and be like, hey, pull that scripture. What scripture? That scripture. Hey man, give me such and such. And it comes out. Or you be like, give me that dictionary, Bible dictionary.
I believe, man. I believe because it's just that flow, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like music, you flowing through it.
Sometimes it just takes. Sometimes the spirit takes over, and you have to speak it. You know what I mean? You have to speak it. Like you ever heard somebody sometimes it'd be like a so-called Edomite, and he just be doing an interview, and then sometimes he's something, and he'd be like, he don't even know what he says. He just let the truth grow. Like we put crack in Black, Hispanic, and Native American communities.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He'd be looking like, oh shit, I said that, and then we'd be looking like, oh, so that's what y'all did. You know what I'm talking about? That's because the Lord is making them speak that. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what's up. Big up to the office right there. I was just saying though, this is exactly why this is one of my favorite precepts, man, because it just kind of hits every theme that you got of the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a discipline building exercise reading this precept here. So if I could, I'll start from the top if I could.
Hey, Yashikar, man, when we break ground in San Antonio, man, I hope you come out, man. I hope you be there when we break ground in San Antonio so you can speak.
Spanish speakers, because I can't speak no Spanish.
So I hope you come out, man, so we can go ahead. So you can go ahead and speak that Spanish to the people, man. Because they gonna, when we speak in our ish, and then they gonna love to hear that. They gonna love to hear the Spanish. So we're gonna need you and Kanak out here in San Antonio.
Those powerful brothers right there.
Keep reading, huh?
Concert. This is Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Right.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
Right. So if you meditate therein day in and day out, then you're going to have success with the scriptures. You're going to have success. You're going to be bringing brothers into school, sisters into school, and it's going to, and it's going to be a glorious time. It's going to be a glorious time. And y'all going to be like, man, how y'all grow your school so fast? But like, hey, man, because the Lord was with us, man. We did what the Lord wanted. The Lord was with us, so we grew the school. It's that simple. Keep going on.
Verse 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage.
Right. Be what?
Be strong and of good courage.
You got to be courageous, man. You can't be a coward. That's I.S.U.P.K motto. We home of the truth. No cowards, right, and no excuses. You can't be a coward out here. You can't have excuses. You have to do the work and put the work in. You see how that works? Do the work and put the work in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Neither be thou dismayed.
Ain't no cowards here in Israel. The Lord didn't give us the spirit of fear, except fearing him, fearing his judgments. That's the only fear that we have. We don't have fear of the world. Go ahead.
For the Lord thy God is whithersoever thou goest.
Right. Say that one more time.
For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
Right. Don't we say that all the time? The Lord, because the Lord is with us. Right? That's why we win the battles. That's why we win the debates.
Right.
Because the Lord is with us. The Lord is with the I.S.U.P.K. We're the home of the truth. We keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We are not afraid. That's why the Lord is with us. The Lord, I don't know where the Christians get their thoughts about the Most High, but the Lord loves a fight. The Lord loves a battle. Matter of fact, hold that. Give me we don't have to hold that. Give me Exodus 3 and 15.
Come.
The Lord loves a fight. The Lord the Lord likes a fight. You want to fight with the Lord gonna give you a fight. Oh, that's how you feel. Like the Lord is a man of war, man. He's a military tacticianist. Is that the right word? Tactician.
Damn right. Exodus chapter 3, verse 15. And God said, moreover, unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel.
Hold on.
Oh, you looking for 15 and 3?
Is it 15 It might be 15-3.
Yeah,
We just get them crossed. It's dyslexia or something. I don't know.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 3.
Right.
The Lord is a man of war.
He's a what?
A man of war.
The Lord is a man of what?
A man of war.
All right.
The Lord is his name.
Now start that over.
Exodus 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
And did he make his children in his image?
Damn right.
Come in the name of the Lord.
Come.
So that means Moses was a man of war.
Come.
Joshua was a man of war.
Right.
King David was a man of war.
Right.
Right. Christ is a man of war.
Mm-hmm.
Mattathias is a man of war. Judah Maccabees is a man of war.
Facts.
Commander Judah Yohanan is a man of war.
That's right.
Right. If that's the case, we're a men of war. Right. So that there we go right there. So he's a major military tacticianist.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Most High is, man.
That's right.
So the Most High likes a fight, especially a dog fight.
Right.
Something that he could put somebody in a headlock and be like, yeah, I told you didn't want this smoke. I told you didn't want this smoke, but you wanted this smoke. I told you, and I told you, and I told you. That's how the Most High be. Most High be like Most High don't be playing that. You ever had a father that just wanted to teach a lesson? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So he let you mess up just to put you in the headlock. I told you already. I told you about that, didn't I? Right? He let you mess up just so he can just so he can teach you a lesson. That's the Most High. The Most High is a good father. The Most High is a good father. The Most High tell you once, tell you twice, tell you 3 times, then let you mess up, then give you a punishment, and then go back to his lesson. Like, so when I told you the first time, you know what I'm talking about? The Most High is a good father. Give me 1 John 3:16. We're gonna end the class.
Come on. Let me get that right quick.
You got the prayers?
Come on, sir. I got it ready.
All right.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 16.
All right.
Where? Hereby perceive that we Salakia. 1 John chapter 3 verse 16. Hereby perceive we the love of God, because he had laid down his life for us.
Wait. Replay that. Reread
that. Hereby perceive we the love of God.
This is how we love this is how we know we love God. Go ahead.
Because he laid down his life for us. And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
Right. Ain't that what Judah Maccabees and his brothers did?
Yeah.
Right. Judah Maccabees and his brothers laid down their lives for Israel, for their brothers, for the laws, for the priesthood, man.
Yeah.
So of course that's what we should do. And even better yet, they didn't have Christ at that time. We had Yahushua Mashiach at that time. We have Mashiach Yahushua Mashiach. And he gave his life for us. So we should give our life for our brothers.
That's right.
Just like Christ did. He's our example, right? If he's our example on how we should live our life, then that's what we should do. Keep going. Or read that one more time.
Khan. 1 John chapter 3, verse 16. Hereby perceive we the love of Yahweh, because he had laid down his life for us.
Right. Christ laid down his life for us. Yahushua Mashiach laid down his life for us. Go ahead.
And we ought to lay down our lives for the brethren.
Right. And we should do what?
Lay down our lives for the brethren.
And we should lay down our lives for our brothers. That's what we do all the time. When we go out there, it could be a dangerous day, and the so-called oppressor feels like shooting up the block. But we're gonna be out there teaching our brothers.
Right.
We put ourselves in harm's way all the time to teach our brothers, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that Christ came for them, and that they're the Israelites that the Bible speak about. Go ahead, Art.
Laying down our lives for our brothers, putting our lives on the line. Also, not entangling ourselves with the affairs of this life, so that we can actually give up our life that we used to live, so that we can raise our people up. There's nothing more honorable than that. I would say, just like the scriptures is saying right here, we ought to lay down our lives for our brethren, because that's what brotherhood is all about. And that's what we just got through reading about. King David doing the same thing, Joshua doing the same thing, Mattathias doing the same thing, and Judas and them doing the same thing. So why wouldn't we be militant? Why wouldn't we be warlike people?
Right.
That's always been who we are. And to say something else is soft and Christian and effeminate.
To not want a war.
Right.
To not want to fight, man. That is Christian. That is soft. And that is effeminate.
It's like that's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. That is soft. That is Christian. That is effeminate to not want a war, man. It's always the Christian that well, brother, we are brothers. And it, look, bro. Debate thy cause. You know what I mean? We can still debate without having to go to war, man. But whoever wins the debate, the Lord is with.
Yeah, right. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you really know your stuff and you really debating, man, the Lord is going to put them precepts upon your heart, upon your mind, and eventually you can be like, I don't know where that precept came from, but it came. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what we saying. And all right, with that, we can clap it up for class. All right. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And we've been teaching that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites that the Bible speaks about since 1969, right? And we are not affiliated with any other Israelite, with no fake Israelite group, with no Christian group, no Muslim group. We are I.S.U.P.K. We are home of the truth, right? And if you're not I.S.U.P.K, you are in the way. You are in the way of getting Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans free from this oppressor.
That's right.
Right. So go to I.S.U.P.K.com, find a school near you, call that number, and get in class, man. Get in class and learn your heritage, learn your culture, and learn your heritage, learn your culture, and learn your language, man. We in the process. We learn our language every day. Go ahead, and I now pass the class over to Trooper Ayalawan for the security.
I'll just move this right quick. These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, they will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashirah means 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offerings for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We have the Day of Atonement on the 10th day of the 7th month. This is going to take place Wednesday the 15th, September 2021. This is from Leviticus chapter 23, verse 27 through 32. Mm-hmm. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. This concludes the I.S.U.P.K security announcements.
All right. And with that, Imagine, which means it's thin. like Officer one y'all say it's not Imagine yum. We're gonna Sar, which means turn. We're gonna face the east.
We're gonna start the prayer, starting with the power prayer in the ancient Hebrew and then English. Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Baba Kushah, Natan Lanawa, Haka, La Rapa'ah, Kau Makala, Wakau Madawa, Haka, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Haka, Lahakoyim, Hamathyam, Haka, Al-Rakawa,
Al-Rakawa,
Hatama Allah,
Atama Yalam,
Lagarashan,
Lagarashan,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
the water.
the water.
Aman.
This is the power prayer in English. Lord,
Lord,
in the name of Yahushai,
in the name of Yahushai,
please give us the power.
Please give us the power
to heal all manner of sickness.
To heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to clean the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out to cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. This is the rank and order structure in the ancient Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahushai.
Why Yahushai.
Wama Yaka'ala.
Wama Yaka'ala. Maka'ala.
Wa Allahayim.
Wa Allahayim.
Matazabya'a.
Matazabya'a.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapyum.
Ha Alawapyum.
Ha Saranyum.
Ha Saranyum.
Hakwatazayanyum.
Hakwatazayanyum.
Ha Yayalyum.
Ha Yayanyum.
Waha Akhwathim.
Hala Akhwathim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Aman.
Aman. This is the I.S.U.P.K blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
And Commander General Yohana.
Commander General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
Officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. And now we gotta have the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer is found in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. First, we're gonna say it in the Lashawan Kodash and then in the English.
Go ahead.
Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakutka.
Malakutka.
Taba'a.
Taba'a.
Ratazaka.
Ratazayaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'arataza.
Ba'arataza.
Kuwa.
Kuwa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashemayim.
Bashemayim.
Natan Lanao.
Natan Lanao.
Lacham.
Lacham.
Call.
Call.
Yawam.
Lawam.
Wasalach Lanao.
Kasalak now.
Kabawath now.
Kabawathia now.
Kasalach now.
Kasalak now.
Kabawathia now.
Kabawathia now.
Wala'a.
Wala Allah.
Tabaya'ai now.
Tabaya'ai now.
Banasaya 1.
Banasaya 1.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashai now.
Hayashaya now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Wala Allah.
Wa'atha pa'ara.
Wa'ata pa'ara.
La'ai walamyum.
La'ai walamyum.
Aman.
Aman. This is the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In
earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our
debtors. As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not.
Into temptation.
Into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever so be it.
Forever so be it.
All right, we're gonna start. Turn face to front. We're gonna imagine. We're gonna give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatah. All right, then we go start and turn the face to sisters. We'll give a courtesy salute. Shabbat Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak.
Yahweh Shema Atan Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Start that over, Rock. Start that over. One time. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine Barak. Yahweh Shema Atan Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, with that, class is dismissed. Sheesh.
Bluetooth enabled.
I messed that all up.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. It's okay. It's always room for improvement.
Son of Christ.
Right.
But the Maki popped in right there while we was doing the prayers. Yo, we had to show him what to do, man. Show him how it look.
Damn, bro. Come on now.
You understand? You done found a new breed of Hebrews that stand and walk with the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Most High. And we don't care who we got to come up against. You ain't standing before this truth. You understand? We done took them all on and gonna continue to take them all on.
Surrounded by Edomites, lost a lot of truth to this tree of life. Open up the book just to see I'm right. Reminiscing on my ancestors, on those ships who had to plead for life. Took us to a place where ain't never safe there. Poison our food to put our children up in daycare. Fresh out of slavery, still thinking that they care. Guns in the community, children can't play there. Brothers still brainwashed, we died for that same cost. Took away our history, believing that we ain't lost. Brother, I'm an Israelite, sin is like kryptonite. Brothers won't pray, no, the robber link a shit tonight. Praises to the Most High, I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background to make him mistreated and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim, homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment, something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't there, then we don't dream of life. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting our adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love they reflection. No matter what the complexion, we got a common connection. A part of God's hand selection. A shot at the resurrection, through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice. Battle demons every fight. Short days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of an Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.